Wow. Once again here. Welcome to the podcast Global Communicator. One time after another, we are here again in this amazing, gondola at the Startup Festival Ski Innovation. So, Lana, what a coincidence that we are sitting here today, right? We met like 5 minutes ago, or let's say 10 minutes ago, had a short talk, and now we're sitting here because you're such an interesting person. So let our listeners know how come that you're here now and what makes you so special.
Well, I'm here now because you're such a good skier. So I saw you and Niklas skiing and I was thinking like, I want to go to gondola with these guys.
Hey, thanks. Happy to hear that. Actually, our listeners know that pretty well because I speak so often about skiing. And so many guests already told me, you're so fanatic in skiing. And happy to hear that you also think that I'm a good skier.
No, and it was interesting to hear conversation. It's really, I love the things you do. I told you I love hearing podcasts. And also I love skiing because coming from Croatia, I wasn't able to ski that much as I was a child. So now I'm enjoying that I'm living in Austria now and I can go ski almost every day in winter. I live in a very nice place on Milstädter See, and there are 3 ski areas in the area, so I can go with the kids and we can go ski for 2-3 hours, and it makes some life quality, our real life quality.
Yeah, amazing to hear. So listeners, as you can see, we are just getting back to the station and we'll start one round again. And while this rounds, we're gonna have a talk about Croatia. As you already said, you're born and raised in Croatia and now living here in Austria. So the perfect person to share insights about Croatia and also the perfect person to compare Central Europeans with more the southern of Europe, and especially Austrians and Croatians, right? So, Lana, at first, give our listeners a short overview about Croatia. So, when people hear Croatia for the first time, what's the capital, what's the population, where is it located? I already told it's in the south, but give a small overview that people from all over the world know where Croatia is, because we have a lot of listeners from India, from Bangladesh, and also from Jamaica, so that everyone has an overview about Croatia.
Croatia is a newly EU country, as a European country. It's located in the south of Europe or southeast of Europe. It has a population of some 4.5 million people, from which almost 1 million is in the capital, that's Zagreb.
Mm-hmm. Worldwide known, Zagreb is a very popular city.
Zagreb is a popular city also when we talk about skiing, because a World Cup is there, a snow queen race, and many skiers heard of the Croatia and Zagreb because of the skiing. But apart from this, Croatia is not really a ski country for skiing, but it's a ski country from some very famous skiers.
Yeah, true.
Like
the Kostelić sisters,
and
right?
Kostelić. Yeah, they come from Croatia, and now Zrinka Ljutic.
Yeah, yesterday won the
Globe. Yeah.
What a coincidence! One day afterwards.
Yeah. So I think you just met a good person to talk about Croatia, because I was many years, like 15 years, in Croatian mountain rescue, and I actually got to know Croatia. Not as a Croatian, but really to know secret spots in the Croatia from the mountain rescue. Mm-hmm. Because, when you're like a normal citizen, then you go to normal places. But when you're mountain rescue, then you go to places where you have never gone, haven't you been to mountain rescue? And it showed some perfect spots for me, and it opened so much perspectives. One of those was that I discovered ultra trails and trail races and things like that then put you in some very uncomfortable places. I mean, very, very far away from civilization, with no signal, but some beautiful nature.
Wow, it makes me already curious. I already told you in advance that we are going to speak about a secret spot also. And when you speak already about that, I think a secret spot can be also somewhere without a signal, because nowadays you're never without a signal.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm very curious. Do you have a secret spot in mind? Because, you saw a lot of places with your work.
Yeah. I had a few, actually. One very beautiful place is Gorski Kotar. You can visit it, and there are some bears. You have to be careful. Okay. If you see a bear, don't do anything.
Okay, you shouldn't run away. You should just stand, or
you just stay put, because bear most probably would run away from you.
Okay.
But we do have some bears there. But we were doing some like 40 kilometers a run as a training for our Mount Everest expedition, and then we come to these small meadows in the middle of the forest, where there is some spring flowers, and there is nothing. There is absolutely nothing, and then you can camp there if nobody sees.
So it's not allowed.
Well,
gray zone.
Yeah, it's really a gray zone, but mostly this it's a public place, so you can camp there and you can eat there, and of many places you also can camp. On the coast, camping is almost not allowed apart from campings, but in the some internal places or in the countryside, mountain areas, almost every place you can camp. But if you are trying to go to the caves, they are not allowed. You need to have a special permission. So Croatia have many caves. They are very, very vertical, and because of they are very vertical, they are also very deep and dangerous. So you can like start in a normal cave, but then all of a sudden it goes 1,000 meters down, and you're not allowed to enter those without extra permission. But if
makes sense, otherwise they will be destroyed after years.
Yeah, but there are more and more some small tourist places or small tourist hacks like bivouacs and some small houses that you can rent, and they're really in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, and where is it? This place? Didn't get it, or did it?
I said it's the Gorski Kotar. It's a very, very nice place, but also Velebit, like Baške Oštarije.
Okay.
The Croatian name's a little bit complicated. So that's also one.
Yeah, guys, I will write it down in the caption or also in the video, because, well, all the listeners on Spotify, it's also a video podcast. You also can watch us on YouTube or on any listening app. We also upload the video. So, and there we will in the caption write down the right names, because even I struggle a bit to understand the Croatian names.
Yeah, of course. But if you are looking for a secret spot on the coast where nobody comes or where it's not so overpopulated like the Croatia is in the summer, there is one beautiful island. It's a very small island. You have a ship that drives you there only once a day.
Okay.
And this is like stones, white, that big, with turquoise sea and almost non-population.
Wow, I really hear the emotion in your words already, so it has to be an amazing island.
We used to have a small boat because we were making a holiday on the island of Korčula. And so we had a very small boat, and we would dive to put some seashells and sea eagles out. And we had some bread, so we ate the caviar out of it, and then we drove to this island, and we spent all day there. And then in the evening we would come back with our small boat, but it was taking us ages because it's a bit more further. So if you are sailing, it's a good spot, but please don't put some trash in the sea, because many people come with sailing boats and then they throw simply the bags full of trashes in the sea, and that hurts. It
hurts a lot, yeah.
My sister is living on island of Vis, and I come there every spring, and we spend like 2 weeks cleaning the beaches.
Well, thanks for that. So that's also what we do here in the city. Like tomorrow, for example, in Innsbruck, there is the Umweltfest called, where we just clean the city around, and people like us, well, I hope we help that the world stays clean of trash.
It hurts my heart, because the sea throws all these things on the sea, and then you see what everything comes in the sea. And it's really, for me, it's personally painful. I feel this pain of the all sea animals and everybody doing it. I don't know how you have a heart to put it inside.
Yeah, if you do that, exactly,
What are you thinking about? If you have some capacities to want to see all this beauty, why do you have a capacity to destroy it?
Exactly, yeah. But what was the name of the city? Let's stay in the beautiful
Insel.
Of the Insel, yeah.
Of the island.
Island, sorry. Well,
it's
the language
island
troubles.
Proist.
Once again?
Proist.
Proist.
With heart and P.
With heart P. Proist. Yeah. Okay.
And it's very, very beautiful.
Yeah, that's also an Austrian thing that we say weiches and hard B. So we decided.
I never learned it when I was learning German. It was very funny to me. Like, how do you have 2 B's and 2 D's?
I know many people are shocked with that. Yeah.
Like, what is the hard D?
Honestly, we, especially with Tyrolean, are not able to decide or different these. It sounds in our language the same in our dialect. So
it's so funny.
yeah.
I had so funny occasions with Austria and with teas and
Oh,
peas.
yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. But wow, thanks. So that's already crazy and great secret spots, and I will definitely write it down in the caption that all our listeners also can find that. And well, thanks to share the island because, well, it's probably not that secret after our podcast anymore, but I hope we are one
I
of
hope the locals won't kill me.
Yeah, hope that too. But I hope we are one of the first which are going there to discover it when it's still empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, you already compared Austrian with our B, but or Ds. But let's have a general overview. What's the biggest difference between Austria and Croatians, for example?
Well, when I was choosing where to live, then I said definitely not Germany. Because in Germany, maybe I could live South Germany, but North Germany, well, you know, South people like Italians and Spaniards, we can simply dance in the street. You know, I'm dancing in the street, you're dancing in the street, and then you catch me and we dance together.
I'm still curious how this comparison ends because Austria is not Germany.
And if I would do that in Frankfurt, I think everybody was thinking like I need some medication. And I was thinking if I do it in Austria, maybe they'll just look funny, but they don't put me in the psychiatry
Here
ward.
we go.
So I was thinking, well, I definitely cannot give up dancing on the street.
Yeah, and then you chose
and
Austria.
then I chose Austria.
Okay.
Sorry, Germany, but that's how I found my time in Germany really hard. And
so that's how you ended up in Austria. But
that's
you
why I ended
have
up
been
in
living
Austria.
in Germany too.
I've been living in Germany shortly
Okay.
for like 2 times a month.
Yeah.
And once I was in Frankfurt, it was really hard time for me because I had the feeling the people are very distanced.
Okay, and not so open-minded.
No, I don't know open-minded, but like no physical contact. They
it's the
shake
warm
hands.
meaning, yeah.
And
Hug.
I was doing my PhD and I was thinking like, I feel very alone here. So next year I got a scholarship for Hamburg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking like, no, scholarship North Deutschland, no, North Germany, no. But that was great. The Hamburg was a city with multiculti, with many cultures, and it was fun. I met some very nice people, and I actually had really fun in Hamburg. So I think it's very personal, you know, how you come there and how do you meet
100%,
people and everything.
100%.
So I would generalize that like Germany and Austria, but for me, that was the reason because you know I live on Milstädter See and I go running, and then I start dancing while I'm running, and like people find it nice. People find it okay. They don't do it.
Yeah.
But they find it okay. They laugh at me, you know. But if I do it in Croatia, then they start also dancing with me.
They join you.
Well,
listeners, you totally get Lana is a very positive and happy person. So that's also how you catch me so fast. And that's why we're sitting here and to speak about Croatia.
Yeah, it's same with the singing. You know, you grab a guitar in Croatia, you start singing, and then like people are singing. And when I come to Zagreb, and I take a walk in the evening, like 11 p.m., 12 p.m. The city is full of people. They're sitting outside, they're chatting,
different climate we have to add to that.
Yeah, of course. But I'm in a small city in Austria at 7 p.m. If you walk the street, okay, are you okay?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the year, time of the year, but I definitely got it.
Yeah.
But Lana, I have to tell you, like I interviewed already more than 50 countries, and now, well, when you speak about the north of Europe, they say the Austrians are very open and warm.
Sure.
Well, if you speak with someone from the south of Europe, they say, well, Austrians are
very close.
Yeah, very close, exactly. So it depends always. But we are the middle way, I would say, and I totally describe that. And I love the people which start with a hug and things like that. It already breaks down the first contact, right? It's already warm, welcoming, and
you know, I work in a hospital in Villach. That's very near the Italy. So when Italians come to hospital, we are hugged in 5 minutes. Also, we don't know each other, you know. But he starts speaking, I start speaking, and here it goes. And in Austria, well, I have to also say, I have very nice friends. I come to the contact point, as it's not like very easy to break ice, but once you broke it, then they are very friendly.
Exactly, and we were very good friends. But Lana, well, let's jump over to the next topic because time flies.
Okay.
And well, we spoke already in advance when we met a bit about food. So Croatia has perfect food. So we have seafood and Mediterranean food. So can you give our listeners just a few meals which you like the most, which people have to try when they go to Croatia?
Yeah, you should eat fish.
Well, which fish, for example?
There is some combination of, wie sagt man, mangold?
Mangold fish. Wow,
No,
that's
mangold with mangold is like spinach, something like that. You know.
okay. I'm not a chef. No idea. I'm sorry.
And they put it together with tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then make it in some very healthy.
Way.
They make it in some very healthy meal, and if you eat it with the fish that's grilled, and it's a very healthy thing to eat also, because now I'm working something. I have a project. I want to prescribe food instead of medication. That's why I'm actually here.
Okay, what's the name of this project?
This project calls Wake, as
Wake.
like wake me up or
Okay.
stay awake. That what you eat makes your body components. And being a Croatian, I'm very conscious about what I'm eating and what I'm putting in my body. So the Croatians, I think the thing is very nice. This is a Mediterranean diet with lot of fish, lot of omega-3s, a lot of vegetables that are very, very fine. And you know, Croatia has the vegetables. When I came to Austria, it was hard to eat vegetables because they get less sun.
Okay.
So in Croatia, they are very tasty. So if you take tomatoes in summer, one especially that calls Volovsko srce, it's so tasty.
And
It's
different
very
in
tasty.
here.
And you
Yeah.
put some olive oil,
Yeah.
and you don't even need a cheese. But speaking of cheese, we have some very good cheese, paški sir, or some Croatian cheese. They're very, very also goat cheese, very nice combinations. And if you want a specialty, there is a goat cheese with some special honey made from lavender, and it's a perfect combination.
Okay.
And also pretty healthy.
Perfect. So a healthy combination to wake you up.
Yes.
So guys, if you want to have good food which wakes you up, wake you up. Wake Me Up is your
Yeah.
company name.
Wake,
So
just wake.
Just
but
wake,
yeah.
not Wake Me Up from Avicii. This time it's Wake from Lana.
Yeah, this is a wake up call for all of us to start eating healthier.
Healthier, yeah. Well, that's definitely one important thing. And well, in the end, well, I always ask my guests about safety in their countries. How is it if people are in Croatia? Is it safe, or if you're just a traveler, or also for locals?
You don't leave your wallet at the table outside,
Yeah, okay.
but apart from that, it's mostly safe. Bicycles sometimes get stolen,
yeah, but that's a small thing, but still, yeah, that even can happen in Austria. No
Yeah.
worries, yeah.
but in Austria, I left my wallet a few times with the kids, you know, somewhere staying, and I found it there. In Croatia, I don't think I would find it at the same
Okay.
place. But apart from that, it's
Very safe.
It's pretty safe.
Nice. Happy to hear
There,
that.
there are some parts you don't really want to go to,
Yeah?
especially in Zagreb. But apart from that, I think you're pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Happy to hear that. Yeah, nice. So, and well, is there a language trouble there? So, do people speak always or often English there, or do I need the main language Croatian?
Well, English is very popular.
Yeah.
So I think many on the coast area you can almost speak German.
What about the mountain area?
Mountain area, you almost have to speak Croatian.
Okay.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
The younger people, they speak English very good.
Okay.
Don't compare my English to it. Better than I. But on the coast, most service people, they speak Italian, English, German, sometimes also French.
Very multilingual.
Very. The
So-
northern part of the coast, they speak Italian as a second language, so they are bilingual.
Nice. Yeah.
So you can speak Italian almost normally.
Yeah.
But so much German and Austrian guests, the German is also
Yeah, very well known there.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. Especially at the coast side. I also experienced that, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So, but anyway, give our listeners a few words in Croatian. So, for example, that they make a nice hello or how are you. So just a few words which we can learn. I try to repeat them. I'm not that good,
Okay.
obviously. But yeah, give us just a few words which we can learn.
Wake me up. Probudi me.
Sorry, once again.
Probudi me.
Probudi me.
Yes.
Well, it's going to be hard for me. But yeah,
Good morning.
that's one thing out of my comfort zone, because you already started. You want to have one thing out of your comfort zone. That's why you're here now.
Yeah, that's-
And speaking
very
Croatian is
first
out of my
podcast.
comfort zone.
No, but you can learn it.
Yeah, well, I try. Okay, what was the next one? Sorry.
Dobro jutro.
Dobro jutro.
That's easy.
That's easy,
Okay.
yeah.
And then we have
good to
good day.
Yeah.
Dobar dan.
Dobre dan.
Dobar dan.
Dobar dan.
Okay.
Dobre dan is in Slovakian, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's similar.
Yeah,
And
it's
then we have
similar.
also good evening.
Yeah.
Dobro večer.
Dobro večer.
And then we say goodbye. Doviđenja.
Doviđenje.
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect. Yeah, I would say that's pretty nice. Well, Lana, I think that's a good first overview for the Croatian language. Well, in the end, I always ask my visitors or interview partner about anything which I forgot to ask. So, is there anything which you wanted to add if people think about Croatia or go to Croatia? What should be there in their mind, which I didn't ask?
Plan in advance because it's more and more booked through the year, not only in the summer.
Except if you go there where you said.
Okay, sure,
That's
yeah.
the
But
secret spot.
secret spots, yes. But the season is getting longer, so it starts almost in February or March, and it ends October or November. So in the winter, you're fine, almost all around. But if you're planning to go May or June and you think you will find a spot, it doesn't have to be, because in the summer it's very hot. So more and more people choose autumn or spring to go there.
Interesting, didn't know
Because
that.
it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Everything is blooming, and like in Austria in May it could be still snowing and very cold. But in Croatian February,
Very seldom, but could be, yeah.
Yeah, but in Croatian mostly in February you can also wear t-shirts. So it's a bit different.
Yeah, amazing. Well,
The winter is shorter. It could be
Yeah.
cold, but it's shorter.
yeah. Well, Lana, thanks for your time. It was amazing, and especially thanks for your emotions. Amazing when you spoke about the secret spots. It directly catch me. You were speaking with body language like really extreme, and love that really. Thanks for that, and that's why we use a video, because you just can see the body language in the video. And well, thanks again to Ski Innovation that we had the chance also to make this spontaneous podcast here. And well, thanks to the team for Hannes and also for the video creator. So thanks a lot, Isabel, and listeners, thanks for listening, and hopefully see you soon at the next episode. And if you have any comments to Lana, you can text us on Instagram, on any listening app, or also to Lana direct through her company Wake, right?
My email is very easy. Also, our website is www.wakeing.
Waking, perfect. So bye.
Bye.
What a timings at the station.